And you see how quickly Bigatron's just closing out this game, like just meticulous, calculated gameplay, because they're aware of what's at stake. Like the top 6 to progress to get the coveted title. There's too much at stake. There's no point risking it. It's time to go towards the draft.
Yeah, I want to see how things go as well. But now, when it comes to first pick here, Bigatron, do they want to deny that Ling away? And so far, we've seen a lot of Ling first picks throughout this day. Looks like it's not going to happen here. They are going to prioritize on that Angela. And to my surprise, I'm not a big fan of this, but Angela is going to be officially in the meta. Everyone thinks that Angela is the strongest hero, and I can see why. I can see the resemblance. You can do so much more value with those horse guards, especially because you can mix and match your emblems to kind of accelerate the cooldowns, as well as utilities that an Angela can bring to the table. So this is where things will get a little bit interesting, because Angela can free hit you and provide so much utility globally compared to heroes like maybe a Yi or even a Farsight to a degree. But once again, Orify this time, they take the Paquito and the Ling away from Bigatron.
I think this is just like they forced their hand, they showed their Angela, if you do not pick Ling, we're gonna pick up the Angela Ling combo. And I think that's the last thing Aura Fire wants to do. So they pick up the Paquito, can be flexed towards the EXP lane, Van on the Ling once more. Maybe he have a better showing. I think like enough adjustments needs to be made to make this work, but really flexible can be, I think, even pair a Lancelot or a tank jungler just for the additional sustain. And very much so, many people tend to build like damage Angela in a way because she just provides sufficient healing. But man, I'm not looking forward to Angela Uranus. Ugh.
Oh wow, I was expecting maybe Angela Esmeralda, but let's talk about the thought process that's going through Bigatron, right? Like, we've hyped up how crazy Van can be in terms of his jungle role, you know, his playstyle, etc. Like, I feel like Bigatron drafted this first pick Angela with very, very clear intentions, like saying that, hey, you know what? I want to play an Angela Ling. Deny it away from me, take it away from me. And the moment Aura Fire picks this lane, it pretty much solidifies that, Van, I'm sorry to say, you have to play Link. There's no fancy Lancelot, there's no Hayabusa, there's no whatever you're talking about when it comes to your playstyles. Like, you are forced to be playing this Link, and this is going to be putting Orify in a very awkward position. So they are being reactive right now. They're drafting Paquito, they're denying away all the heroes that can actually be a big threat on this Link now. But the question here is that Orify, hey, you know what? It's okay. Angela has so many compositions. There's the Flying Dragon with the Yuzhong, there's the Esmeralda, there's the Uranus, there's, if they want to go the distance, they can even go for a Hayabusa in their favor, which does a lot of damage if you pair it up with the lethal Ignite coming from the old magic worship here, especially when the emblems has been interchangeable.
Fight for the ultimate.
Yep, exactly. Right now, you can see instantly Bigatron like playing a bit of mind games, forcing Aura Fire's hand, as you said. And this Angela could be combo with just anyone. With Uranus, absolutely unkillable. With the Baxia, even more killable. At this rate, I think Super can just have, you know, just play whatever you want, because Aura Fire being very reactive, as you say. Do they have enough tools to counter Bigatron's grand plan?
Oof, all things considered, with the Arlott, I think it's very, very doable. In this case, let's talk about benefiting from the shields right now. And personally, I think Orify, they could have went for the Esmeralda. Arlott definitely a safety pick here because you've got so much flex available, right? You can play Arlott tank, you can play Arlott XP, but doubling down right now pretty much secures that, hey, I'm gonna play this as a role Arlott. But when it comes to marksman here, what's a good marksman to actually be able to utilize these combos coming from the final stash, from the Paquito combos? And the hero that I can think of right now is pretty much Beatrix. But if you go for a Beatrix, it's pretty much one trick, right? You're not providing a lot of CCs. You're just going for this one-shot combo. Can you chip down the shields? And you have limited ammunition, so I think that's gonna be a big problem for them. But Bigatron, Oh boy. They take the Kadena
Yep.
for themselves. They have a Grok. Is this a jungle Grok? It is a jungle Grok.
I
Yeah.
hope this is jungle,
It is a jungle
Grok and not jungle Uranus.
Yeah, I don't think
It's not like
Uranus
we
would
have not
benefit too much
seen
in
it
jungle.
before. We have seen jungle Uranus. Not my first pick in my books, definitely. But hey, I think if Bigatron wants to experiment, they're one game up. This is time for them to play around. But I think most likely it's going to be jungle Grok. We have seen really great for countering and like just contesting for objectives. Kabuki, I think overall just really safe. Going for Brody.
I hate this.
So
Like,
I think
I
overall,
really hate this. Like, they were put in a spot where, hey, I want to play the Beatrix. Great, I can set it up, but I've got two really tanky heroes and I got a lot of shields. Beatrix can't tank through so much damage. And the next hero I thought of was like, hey, maybe I can go for a carry. Maybe I can go for a Leslie.
Yeah.
2 damage here. But the moment you've got all this composition that is so in your face, I can't go for a carry because if I go, I'm gonna get completely melted in this scenario. And instead of forcing the carry, they chose the safety option. Brody gives you a little bit of a disengagement tactic. You can still kind of chip damage from afar. But personally, I feel like Bigatron had a very scary draft. They definitely played into the hands of in the drafts here right from the get-go in this draft game too.
yeah, I mean, carry would have been really great, but the minute they reveal the Kadita, I mean, as well as the Grok, these are not great options for the carry, even though like being able to stretch through armor lacks a lot of mobility, has to be really wary of the positioning, even though it's one of Kabuki's best heroes. But I think Brody is just safer. But I'm also kind of worried about the overall impact of this goal laner.
Yep, at the same time, this pretty much has to be decided as well. Bigatron currently match point from taking 2-0 against Aura Fire. Will Aura Fire bounce back? This is the perfect time to do so because as of yet, Aura Fire has the better twos compared to game 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Mobile Legends, and we are heading into game number 2 between BTR versus Aura Fire.
Right, BTR, let's remember they're one game up. They can be a bit more experimental, and oh my goodness, I didn't want to be right, but Super Ken's on Uranus.
Come
I hate that I'm
on,
right.
man. Like,
Oh no.
okay.
Hey, hear me out. Uranus jungle like farms surprisingly fast.
I guess, you know, with the Ionic Shield, kind of do this well, and as long as you're hitting jungles, you are getting those stacks. But speaking of harassments here, Super Ken just taking advantage of those Ionic Shells' stacks here to kind of apply pressure and ban. Well, can he do much here? But Super Ken, oh, okay, he misses sidestep. It's all good. You know, he needs to build up his stack a little bit more. But for now, Aura Fire, they have to dodge all these fights. There's just no way they can kill a Uranus this early on.
The fact that, you know, he's being the jungler, being able to get those like items, he's going to be really unkillable. Combo it with the hot guard, I'm really worried for Aura Fire and their composition, even though it's better. But High already forced to flicker early on, so that is like basically their main source of engagement. Flicker with the final slash is out of the picture for this turtle take.
Yeah, I think the win condition here coming from both Aura Fire and Bigatron Alpha is a little bit more fast now. That Bigatron Alpha, all they gotta do is snowball with this Angela Uranus, right? But when it comes to Aura Fire, all they gotta do is just buy time. Hold that thought for now. Flicker, full charge, boom, one shot. Kimura cannot disengage here, and this is how you play the Kadita composition. No purifies, best time for Kadita. However, Van, they're a little bit cheeky. They are gonna try and steal away the purple buff from this Uranus, and I would say it's a big dub considering that Van will be able to get it, but the turtle still a little bit too slow. But nope, Ken already takes it down very quickly as well.
I don't think it's worth when Super Ken can just invade your jungle and take your purple away.
Can they kill him though? I don't think they can actually kill Super Ken. Look at him, he's just building his stacks, he's building his regen. What can you do? But at the same time, here comes the hot guard, boom, instant full health, and he's gonna try and build up his Ionic Shells as well. 2 stacks on Van. Van cannot continue. He's gonna try and disengage, but at the same time, from behind, Kimura could not chain up the combo. Zarizo goes in for all charge, saves the day. He will sacrifice his life for Super Ken, but they do trade 1-for-1. Van for Zarizo, absolutely worth it in the hands of Bigatron Alpha.
absolutely. This is really what I worry about. I feel like Bigatron's alpha this bullying. This is not good.
Oh no, Vin! Oh my goodness, Kabuki! You're looking at the wrong direction. Surprise, Vin goes in for the one shot, and now Van now is gonna try to trade off his life as well, and that's gonna be a little bit of a overextension coming from Bigatron Alpha. They trade 1 for 1, so that's gonna be a little bit of glimmer hope for Aura Fire. That's what they need.
Yep, I think overall, Super can just overstaying his welcome. Yes, Uranus, but you still, even though you're jungle Uranus, you still need time to farm out. Zorizo getting like pushed out lane. Kimura wants some form of revenge, but no, wild charge onto Kimura. Hardguard is ready, but I don't think both teams are gonna force the issue.
This isn't too bad of a matchup coming from Zorizo.
Yeah.
Like, damage versus damage is great, you know. Damage on the Pakio means you can one-shot people, but damage on Zorizo means that I can do damage and also be tanky. So that's pretty much the good side about Zorizo, but at the same time, look at bottom lane. Okay, as soon as I said that, Kimura gets the outplay here, but once again, Super Ken being a nuisance here. He's gonna try and buy time. Hardguard comes in, tries to steal the purple buff, and he does! No purple buff from Van! Oh my goodness, you hate to see it on this lane, and BTR, they're just going out of control. Turtle secured. Now Aura Fire, they need to make moves across the map here. In this case, BTR, they're not even collapsing on the turtle buff. They're just mirroring Aura Fire, not giving them the space that they need to get farm in this game.
They're not too far behind in terms of the gold lead, but it's really going to come down to Van being able to like steal objectives way, but with no purple buff on this lane. This is cooking really loud. Super Ken taking a fair bit of damage. Hardguard is not available.
Beautiful final slash this time as well. Stops him with the retribution. That's gonna be Kimura going for the chain as well, and he gets the flicker out. Very nicely done coming from Aura Fire high with the perfect timing to set up for Van to steal the turtle. So this is a little bit of glimmer of hope, but it is still 50-50. So I would say this is as close as it gets. It comes down to execution. However, let's talk about the win condition late game here. Kabuki versus Saken. Now, Saken, one level ahead means that Aura Fire needs to find a way to secure Kabuki's farm into the later stage of game.
Well, here's the thing. In order to enable Brody, he has to farm kills. But as I see that Vin taking out beautiful Feather Strike from Aura Sin.
Oh, nicely done coming from Aura. Because as of yet, Super Ken slowly losing his strength as well. He's getting chains done all the way through now with the final slash to force the hard gun in. Super Ken just not getting the stacks that he needs to actually do damage. He's tanky enough, but Aura Fire, all they gotta do is just kite him around. But High, he's taking a little bit too much. High, he might actually die here, but bottom lane, they finally take down High. Zorizo as well, gonna be taken down. And this is the timing that Aura Fire has been looking forward to here. They've got their items and they're back in action now. Kabuki versus Saken, 1v1. He's a little bit trouble, but can he get out? BTR, they've got him trapped. He's stuck. Can he get out? No, he cannot. The Petrify comes in, and that's gonna be Vin that takes him out. And Bigatron, they lose the side lane, but they secure the win for Saken. Tier 1 on the top side, being mowed down, and Sid trying to clear the minutes, denying it away. So BTR will have to settle with just that. Kimura, Saken. Oh, okay, he's fine.
Saken saving his dash just because like the threat of the Paquito is still a thing. He does have damage. But overall, I think what Aura Fire needs to play around is the timing of the hard guard. You only got one hard guard, you only can protect one person, whether it's protecting Saken or protecting Ken. You gotta be the choice. Right now, it's up and available. They're aware of this.
The final charge, the wall charge actually missed, and now they are gonna get chained down. Super Vin loses his life. Zorizo though forced to back off, but the Turtle down towards his final two bar. Who's gonna win the retribution battle? It's gonna be Fan that comes up on top of Ken now. He's gonna get kited out. Even with the hard gun, there's absolutely nothing they can do. So much penetration coming from Aura Fire, and BTR, they're crumbling. They got caught off, and they are gonna go down. As Aura Fire finally bounces back.
Well, this is the time for them to shine. If you have to out-damage Uranus, like no matter what situation, it was working out early on, but I think that earlier, like first time he died was the opening the Aura Fire was looking for to climb back towards this game. Kumara's damage, Sin has sufficient damage. I think overall really great. Oh, Zorizo, wild charge missing. Heart got also expended. He'll be able to get out, but he'll potentially. Oh, okay, he clears it out by basically that top turret will fall eventually.
Oh boy, that is very, very difficult here. The fourth hot got available out of Bigatron Alpha. That means more room on the side lanes. But look at this, Aura Fire. They've finally reached a stage where they've got so much penetration to do with tankiness coming from Zorizo, the tankiness coming from Super Ken. And look at this, Kimura is gonna try to set things up with High as well. And the moment this catch and this fight breaks down, Bigatron Alpha does not have the CC if Zorizo doesn't connect his wall charge, and that's going to be a little bit of mishaps coming in. And Aura Fire, they're finally getting the space they deserve. They are going to play this safe and dodge the fight, but pay attention to this. Van was under pressure throughout the entirety of the fight, and Super Ken now one level behind against Van, and he's gonna be trying to open up the map, but he's just no longer able to. Think about it.
Here, like assassins will definitely farm way faster than the Uranus. Let's close the argument right there. And the fact that Van wasn't punished enough during like the start of the game, he only died once, which is still manageable. Wall charge onto its camera, force the flicker. He still has his combo. He'll be all right, and just so much mobility, able to get away.
Okay, the Lord Dance coming in. Super Ken getting caught up. Instant hot got to connect here. Where's the team? They're not here to actually fight this fight, but the Fender Airstrike being baited out means that BTR can actually interject now. And this is the perfect time. Can they get the catch? Because as of yet, they force out the raw phase on the sides here. So that's no burst potential coming from Bigatron Alpha. So both sides still, and they stalemate right now. Kimura slowly making his way towards the turtle as well. Ken getting pulled off in the final slash. He gets this position, but he needs to heal himself up. Meanwhile, Aura Fire, they're holding the Lord hostage here. They need to get the reset. Rizzo not letting them off the hook, but they just can't seem to find the damage. They need to find the reset. And as of yet, Aura Fire with this poke tactic is working out in their favor. And they are gonna be sold out. They're waiting for the next half guard, and Super Ken finally shows in. He needs to make an attempt. Can he get the retribution? No, he cannot. He's a little bit too far off now with the rough face. It connects on multiple one here. Coming from win. They take down Kabuki. BTR. They need to get out, and Aura Fire. They've lost too much in this place. They got the objective. They got the Lord. But to what avail, because BTR will get heroes and they finally find the space. And High, great outplay here. He's going to be able to get out, but Kai... Okay, he's got the slow, but Super Ken, does he want this though? But it seems like he's gonna zone out for his teammate. Tier 1 is gonna be way to go. Kimura is gonna be here to respond, but wall charge finds him from the side. High will be the one to fall, and that's gonna be Aura Fire losing yet another member to the hands of Bigatron Alpha.
Yes, Super Ken, unfortunately losing on the retreat battle, considering the level difference. But yeah, basically 2 levels under Van, but Bigatron Alpha, they have damage from their other cores, and Aura Fire was not ready for that. Even though they secured the Lord, this is the first Lord of the game. Bigatron Alpha will just be able to clear it out. I don't think it will even collide with their Tier 2.
Yep, this is as close as it gets, because as of now, Kabuki is just an absolute monster when it comes to push and poke tactics, because as of now, the moment the puppets gets dropped from Saken, they have to commit to the fight from Bigatron. So if they're able to bait out those spells, the wall charge as well as the hot guard, they're all Gucci for Aura Fire. So they can choose their fights a little bit more guerrilla warfare tactics. And that's something that I think Aura Fire will excel the most, especially when you have a Link in play as of now. But so far, beautiful defense coming from BTR, but look at this. They force out the pump, but oh, the Fender Airstrike zones off Win. He gets his regen, but can they actually get the catch? Because as of now, Vin has got his eyes looking for Saken, but Saken is just a little bit too far off right now.
As you can see from that defense, they don't lose in much in terms of infrastructure. And looks in terms of the item, this is a damage crop. There's a reason why Cerezo is not as tanky as you would like. He's going for damage against the Paquito, while Paquito's going for more sustain. And instantly, you can see Van having a much better time this game to almost 3k network up against the Uranus.
Yep, and as of yet, Saken already having a lot of items here. He's slowly progressing against RFI. So that's something that I think they are going to be a little bit more worried here, because the moment Saken builds his max item slot, this is where things get very difficult for RFI, because eventually he's got the attack speed, he's got the damage to zone out everyone from RFI. But now we do see a pause coming in. That means they need to actually figure out what's going on. But this gives a little bit of breathing room for both teams to think, how do they win this game? Because both have very, very clear winning conditions and still achievable at this stage of the game.
Agree. I mean, like, also give us a moment to take a quick breath and step back and assess the situation. Was this Uranus jungle too experimental, or do they still have the tools, you know, the late game power spike they need to deal with the likes of Aura of Fire?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? When it comes to the power spike, I would say both can play in the late stage game. They're both equally strong, but it comes down to who gets the first great engage, and that's going to be what dictates the tempo, right? So when it comes to this matchup, whoever gets the best first engage will have most likely 30% in their favor won in terms of the team fights. But that's the thing. Right now, at this stage of the game, it doesn't feel like that. It feels like whoever makes the first move, and if it's the wrong one, they pretty much lose the entire fight.
Yeah, instantly the Lord fight, even though that they were able to secure the Lord, like, I mean, Van was 2 levels up, had that retribution advantage, but instantly you can see BTR just collapsing onto the remaining members on the side of Aura Fire in instant, just negating the damage from the Lord whatsoever. Of course, first Lord of the game, not gonna deal too much. We're actually going like for a bit of in-game pause. Do hang on tight. This is the last best of 3 we have, ladies and gentlemen, for tonight. And like, just sit tight and shout your predictions and show your support for the respective teams.
Yeah, but as of yet, Aura Fire finally getting the lead that they need, right? And you talked about 40,000 network lead, right? Like, it feels like Aura Fire, they may be leading, but I think in about 4 to 5 minutes time, the goal lead doesn't even matter. Everybody's gonna be the same here. Yep. It's gonna be a battle between Winter Drunken Swaps, Immortality. It will get into that stage, because in terms of global presence, Aura Fire does have that first take initiative because you have a link, right? The global presence coming in from BTR pretty much plays around this Angela, catching people off guard with those hard guard. But at this stage, Super Ken isn't able to get out without being punished because of all this penetration coming from Aura Fire. You've got penetration coming from Hai, you've got penetration coming from Kimura, you've got penetration coming from Kabuki. Any of these heroes can take them down to set up for Ren to actually potentially threaten him. So that's going to be a very awkward fight, especially if Bigatron is not prepared for this fight here. But as of now, they are going to force Aura Fire into them. And this is smart, because having this Lord aggro means that they will have a little bit more room. However, bottom lane, Vin, he tries to make an attempt here onto his Van. Rough Wave comes in, but Van, he does have the damage threat in him. They force the hard guard to save his life. So that's a big ultimate bait coming from Van. And this is perfect time for Aura Fire to say, I am going to hold this Lord hostage. And Super Ken not going to be able to get those aggro for now. That means Aura Fire, they will be able to force Bigatron in an awkward position, but it seems like they don't want to take the risk. They are going to wait on the lanes here to be shoved up, so it is going to be a reset. The Lord Dance coming from both sides.
I think Vin, even if he died earlier, he did his job. He forced out the Tempest of Blades from Van. But as I say that, the cooldown is back online. That's up for the taking. See Halbert purchased to deal with this Uranus as well as Angela, because he's gonna need as much like damage to shred through the armor of this Uranus.
At the same time, the Lord is about to collapse as well. They need the Lord Pit here, and that's gonna be Saken to steal the play. And now BTR, they're gonna go collapse onto his Aura Fire. They're not prepared for this wombo combo, and Super Ken completely overruns them with Saken. And now the pull yourself together comes in. Kimura cannot kill Saken at all. But at the same time, the Iron Sheet comes in. They do catch him off guard, but Aura Fire, they will lose this fight. Beautiful stuff coming from BTR. What a clutch coming from Saken.
the fact that Sakin, out of everyone, was able to secure the Lord Big W for Bigatron Alpha, and it's 1v2 trait. Van Kabuki, their main source of damage, is out of the picture. Hard Guard is available once again. Super Kenshin zoning Aura Fire under the turrets.
Oh my goodness, look at the puppet Sin almost dying as well. Oh my goodness, Aura Fire. This is not looking good because Bigatron, like I said as well, drop one spell and if you're in it, you're it. It's over. Socket is gonna get completely run rampant here. Final side, full super can in. Aka keeps him alive. But Turret doing a little bit more damage, but they just don't have the combos. But no, hi, he got caught out by Finn. He's gonna get taken down. The Lord instant channels his way through. But Finn again, the back line. He fights another. They get Finn. They get Kimura. It's over. Aura Fire. He got caught off guard, and that is gonna be a clean 2-0 for Bigatron against Aura Fire. What a clean game for Bigatron Alpha.
Overall, just as you say, clean sweep for Bigatron Alpha. Congratulations, Bigatron Alpha, the Red Robots. They're on the roll today. What a day one.